What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Smash Course. We're here for the 11th episode. Unfortunately, Joe can't be with us this week. We were missing Hbox last time, but it's cool. We have quite the lineup. We've got Hbox back in town, and we've got Swar from PG Stats and Ori, one of the main hosts of Frostbite, coming up this weekend. So we're going to be talking to those guys about some cool stuff related to that event in particular, as well as some other happenings in the Smash scene and beyond. So, guys, why don't you introduce yourselves, say what's up, and let everyone know what you're going to be talking about today.
All right, I guess I'll start. I'm Ori. I am a Michigan TO community leader. Just like Max said, I'm one of the main TOs of Frostbite. This is going to be our third Frostbite coming up this weekend in Dearborn, Michigan. If you guys haven't heard of it, I think you might be living under a rock because it's proving all the naysayers wrong about Smash 4 being dead.
Nice. All right, Swar, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. So I'm sorry from PG Stats. Obviously, the season has been pretty interesting, considering we just opened up with Genesis earlier in the year. So Frostbite will probably be, after EVO Japan, the biggest event we have so far, if not the biggest. So it's pretty exciting to see who's going to take the gold, because there's also Takaigi happening the same weekend, which took a lot of our top 10 players as well as some Japanese talent. So who knows? It's up for grabs, and it capped at 1,000 people. So anything can honestly happen.
Yeah, definitely excited for that one. It's also I think the first Smash 4 only major I've ever attended. So I'm really excited to be part of that, and definitely lose early and watch some great top 8 male Smash 4. I'm going to basically talk about Genesis, about all of us joining the club. EVO Japan a little bit, and just some other goodies from last week, including our top seed for Smash 4 kind of walking away from his throne. So it'll be good to talk about.
Yeah, all some crazy stuff, even though it's a little bit on the quiet side in the Smash community around this time of year. Usually there's definitely some stuff keeping it fresh, so that's really nice to see in 2018. So yeah, let's talk about Frostbite first and foremost. I mean, this is an event that pretty much everyone has their eye on. They also all have their eye on first place at the event. As we were talking about, the seeding has gone up. Salem being first seed, and then Tweak the Buzz, Mr. R, Mistake, Wadi, ESAM, MVD rounding out the top 8. I mean, this is really a rogue event, if you ask me. I mean, ESAM and MVD have been doing pretty well lately, especially with both of them getting top 8 at Genesis, but still they're ranked like 21 and 25 on the PGR, right? But they're within the top 8 seeds for this event. So I think that kind of speaks to how ferocious the competition is going to be. None of your auto wins for first, I mean, namely 0, will be in attendance. MK Leo has been on a tear, not going to be there. No Nairo. So, I mean, to some people, it might make it less exciting, but I think personally, like, nobody knows who's going to win this event, and that's really hype. So, Swar, you're the stats master. I want to hear from you on some of your predictions for this tourney.
Well, like any tournament, the seeding is already wrong from the start. People just have so much in mind, and players might not show. There are some snowstorms coming or happening right now, so I can imagine a cancellation or two. It's also Michigan in the middle of February, so anything can happen. We just had 5 seeds not show / drop out / get sick / act of God at Genesis 5
/ personal reasons
/ personal reasons. So I imagine there will be some holes in this one, and that's not even the tournament organizer's fault. Ori did his job, but Salem being the favorite, I can imagine him with the most amount of confidence that he'll take it, and him and Tweak in grand finals would be nice. But Tweak is susceptible to nerves, as he showed last time in the championships. And then you have the Buzz coming right after at the 3rd seed. But beyond that, from the Buzz all the way to Como, I mean, all those players can get upset, or they can win the whole thing. Mistake, namely, and Mr. R, namely. Cosmos is a little bit of a glass cannon, in my opinion, still. He did have a great Big House run, but not so much as at Genesis. So, numbers-wise, we did start with a clean slate, so it's really hard to say at this point, aside from, betting on Salem repeatedly. because
When's like the last time you saw like a bracket like in winners quarterfinal actually play out as the projections projected? Because I do feel that like in half of these matchups, like you have MVD over Cosmos. The flip side could be very true and very possible. Mr. R over Samsora. I could see Samsora being Mr. R, like very possibly. Mistake versus Zach is the freaking Bayo Ditto. And then I would say that Esam Como again. There's just a bunch of toss-ups here. DeBuzz Mars. Like you might see sort of a repeat of Big House where even though DeBuzz won the whole tournament, Mars went on one of the most insane runs and showed that he can go toe-to-toe with any of these seeds, considering that MKLeo, Nairo, those players aren't here. One of the most exciting toss-ups I think possible. And just like last year's Frostbite, I think we are in a wild ride for predictions.
Yeah, and the Buzz and Mars have a history here in the East Coast. They've competed at various tri-state and New England regionals, and the Buzz usually gets the upper hand, but Mars is that loose cannon sometimes that just finds his mark and doesn't let up. Taking up Falcon as a secondary every now and then has proved to give him some pretty nice results. But, it's that zero suit that moves like unlike any other. And since there's no Nairo, at least to potentially offset that, I mean, he's got it all potentially for top four in this tournament. But like you said, there's so many toss-ups, and any dittos can go either way. And it doesn't mean necessarily one person's better than the other, except for the fact that they are that day. So.
And even like Mistake, you saw the run. He just when we thought he was like sort of falling off, he had the Genesis run of his life, and then who knows at this point. I just want to see some good Smash.
Yeah,
we'll definitely get that starting Saturday. It's going to be one hell of an experience for viewers and people like at the venue. I'm very excited.
How about you tell us a little bit about, because I'm actually curious, so it's the same venue as Big House, correct?
Yeah, we are in the same ballroom that the Big House 6 is.
Oh, cool.
Was in. So it's something most people are familiar with, and what a lot of people wanted, they wanted something like that going into Big House 7. So it feels like we're almost like giving to the community what they wanted, in a sense. So that's something that I know that like myself and Vayseth aimed for when we decided to bring Frostbite back for the 2018 variation. So,
and it starts on Saturday singles, right? So what's the schedule look like for people that are uninitiated?
I think actually we'll have the event schedule going out like tonight, at some point, but Friday evening check-in starts at 6 p.m. So that's when doors open for when you can pick up your badge, go in and start playing 24-hour gaming. And then Vayseth is airing his documentary at, I think, 9 p.m. on the main stage. So
24-hour venue?
Yep. 24 hours starting Saturday or Friday night at 6 p.m. So people, I swear to you that there are going to be people who have a pool at 10 a.m. and they didn't even go to sleep that night. They just stayed in that room for
awful decisions.
For 15 hours straight. I don't know how they can do that.
You'll be warmed up, man.
Yeah, you'll be super warmed up. But yeah, after the Vayseth Voyage documentary airs, that's pretty much it for planned events for Friday. And then just people are going to money match, play friendlies all night long. And then pools start sharp at 10 a.m. And we're in for the long haul because we have a massive bracket, or just massive brackets to get through in only 2 days, which is going to be something like Crazy Feet that you only see by like 2GG do. Because I don't know if you guys have this Smash GG pulled up, but for doubles, it's 276 teams, which makes it, I think, like for sure a top 5 doubles tournament of all time for Smash 4, like largest.
Yeah, it's got to be.
And that's all getting completed in 1 day.
Let's go. Let's go.
How many setups do you have?
56. And then the 2 main stage setups. So 58 total. It should be good. Me and Jash probably worked for like a good 4 hours trying to get this schedule down to how it's going to work. And God, it's going to work. And then Wii U Singles has 866 people. And that solidified it as a top 10 Smash 4 event of all time, which was one of our goals for the event. and I'm glad that we got to meet it.
I heard that Hungrybox and K9 were teaming too, gonna get placed top 4. I'm pretty sure, so that's gonna be pretty sick. Yeah,
I was pretty surprised to see like that he was teaming with you. I was like, whoa.
He trusted me.
I mean,
You're gonna go day-to-day, right?
No, I'm going villager in dubs actually, because me and Amsa, when we teamed, my villager was like literally 2v1ing Japanese teams in doubles. I don't know how, but it worked.
That's crazy.
We're gonna go with in doubles, I think.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think I made a nice bold claim by saying that you guys were a top 32 seed. So don't prove me wrong. I don't want the local meme of Ori seeding to
I
be
got
a thing.
I got you.
But yeah, so anyway, like when it comes to I guess this Frostbite, it's just another tournament to I guess make history. Frostbite has kind of like made history in a way since it's like started in 2016. We proved people wrong saying that no one would want to travel to Michigan during the dead of winter, but every year people do. So that's good. And with all the talent in-house and all the talent that's overseas at Tokaigi, it's pretty much a toss-up for who's going to win, like we were saying at the beginning of the show. No one in their right mind could call first place right now, I think. It's just kind of like, it's really difficult.
Yeah. Any fantasy bracket, I guarantee is wrong.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, there's no way. And if you nailed even, 4 out of the top 8, I'd be pretty surprised. So Ori, like quickly from your perspective, or just from the responsibilities you've taken on for this event, what's it like to put together a tournament like this from start to finish?
All right. So the planning stages for this started, I think, last like June or July. It was really weird. When Frostbite 2017 ended, I was ready. I was like, all right, that's it. Frostbite's over. Like, there's no more left. Pulse was dead, which was my former tournament group I ran tournaments with out of Michigan. And we were just certain that the bear was in hibernation forever. And then when Vaseth brought it up to me saying, let's do it again. And I'm like, you're crazy. We can't do this. And then he just talked me through it. And when it came to be, I was like, okay, well, this is pretty much going to be a full-time job. I think I've been working at least like 20 to 30 hours, like every week since October on this tournament, whether it's like social media graphics, just general tournament organization. This is probably the craziest tournament I've ever been a part of. And I've been a part of tournaments like Apex 2015. So to date, this is going to be oh yeah. This is definitely the biggest tournament I've ever been a part of, from like my TO perspective. So it's going to be a true challenge, but like I'm up for it. Like I've been TOing since 2008, so this is just going to be the icing on the cake for my decade as a TO.
Wow, congratulations for that, man! And also, do you know where it ranks in terms of events that only have Smash 4? Because I know like the biggest ones, EVO, Genesis, I believe, has scraped quadruple digits, etc. They all have either Melee at them, or they were like Melee legacy events that Smash 4 got added to. So Frostbite, I know, has to be very much up there in terms of Smash 4 exclusives.
I believe it is number 9 for Smash 4 exclusives. Or just a Smash 4 bracket. It's the 9th largest of all time. It's going to be very hard to beat the EVOs in the Super Smash Cons.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I think
have Melee as well and other games.
Yeah.
So like, I wouldn't even be surprised if it's like top 3, like that only were for Smash 4. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'd have to look. Like that'd be a lot of digging. But I know, like for myself and Vaseth, we've been just using like the Smash Wiki largest Smash 4 tournaments of all time, kind of as our base. It'd be really interesting to go and just look at what tournaments that were Smash 4 as the highlight. That'd be interesting. I think we're definitely top, because I don't think I've ever heard of any tournaments pull in almost 900 solo for Smash 4.
Yeah, I mean,
of Melee, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, top 3, maybe even the biggest ever, but I don't want to jump ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to make any
But-
bold claims.
Yeah. It just like seems like it's dangerously close to that territory. But anyway, speaking of Evo, we just got the game list last night, or I guess as of the airing of this show a couple days ago. So Tuesday night of this week, and there were definitely some shockers there. Namely the absence of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which I think pretty much everyone had queued up to be one of the games. I mean, Marvel has such a long legacy, and this is, I believe, the first year in quite some time that Marvel did not make an appearance. Also, more relevant to ourselves and the viewers of this show, back, which I'm sure, like, particularly some Marvel players might be a little bit upset by, given that their game that has like a super long legacy kind of got ignored in favor of that. But also, it's this time mainly on Sunday again, in contrast to 2017 having Smash 4 at the Mandalay. So, yeah, guys, thoughts on this? I think it's pretty good overall, but I definitely, as a Marvel enthusiast, feel for them.
When they were announcing the games one by one, and then they got to the sixth game, and they announced I forgot what the sixth game was, but it wasn't Melee, it wasn't DBZ Fighter, and then I remember there was only room for 7 was the rumor, so I got really scared for a second. Obviously Wizard was doing the classic troll, and there's actually 8 games, but yeah. Then 7th game was Melee, which I popped off on, and the 8th game ended up being DBZ Fighter to get a pretty well-rounded roster, and I was honestly shocked as well about Marvel's absence, even if it didn't have the buzz of the same rest of the games. The buzz, like, there was still such a connection between Evo and Marvel, all the storylines, all the historic matches, and to not have it, it's literally Evo kind of like looking at the devs straight in the eye and saying, "You guys really dropped the ball with this one," and like, we'll get you back next time. Just give us what Marvel 3 was. Give us what DBZ Fighter Gate is giving us right now that you guys apparently failed to do so. And I don't blame him. He wants viewership. He wants quality games. He wants good competition. And if your game can't handle that, there's no reason it can be in there. And also the attendance for the games and viewership generally was way down compared to Marvel 3. But the more upsetting part to me was, I think, the response still a lot of the FGC sort of being upset there's 2 Smash games, which I've never truly understood about that. Even if they are games of the same genre with completely different physics engines, characters, strats and all that, why is it that we are not allowed to have, like, we shouldn't have 2 Smash games when we have the attendance, we have the numbers of the viewership, we're the ones paying a third of the bills for the entire event? It's just, I've never understood it. And I understand being upset that your game's not at a tournament, but the only people you can really blame for that is your own community. And if you are upset that your game's not there, fix your community, fix your outreach, and that's why the Smash games are where they are. And I'm nothing but glad, and I'm very happy we got another shot, especially Melee on Sunday. It's great news.
Yeah, though I will say, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle not being released yet.
Yeah, that one's weird.
Marvel,
that one's weird.
Definitely sus. But yeah, that said, yeah, Smash is here to stay, baby. We ain't going nowhere.
For sure. Yeah, I know when I heard that Marvel wasn't in there, I was disappointed, because I felt that the Marvel community kind of needed like that Evo boost to kind of maybe like spark like a second like life into the game itself. But I'm not surprised. Like, I felt like Wizard put a lot of games in last year's lineup, so it made sense that he was dialing it back for this year. And I know that I'm excited for 2 Smash games. I like that Melee got Sunday's spot. I think if they alter Smash 4 and Melee for Sunday, that's a great play. Gets new like people to watch different top 8s. And a lot of people enjoy watching Melee on top 8, especially the FGC players. And DBZ or DB Fighters is going to, I think, bring the house down. That game is going to like shatter numbers for Evo.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. And can you imagine if we get like something like Leffen versus Sonic Fox in the finals? Like, it's just gonna be out the roof. It's gonna be out the roof.
Yeah, and DBZ. I mean, there's 3 Arc System games, and that's really just a testament to the quality of their games. Marvel vs. Capcom was clearly not the priority for Capcom, and with such a small like budget allocated to it, if you read a little bit more about it, like, it kind of makes sense how the release was, how it was, how the game even looks like an alpha version of itself.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's just like the most bizarre thing. And they didn't realize what they were kind of like not they were kind of like just squandering. Like it was just pretty awful. And then compared to Arcade Edition for Street Fighter, where everything's now invigorated again, I mean that is going to be awesome. EVO Japan was awesome. Nearly 100,000 watched that, and not having Marvel there is kind of a huge slap in the face for a lot of reasons, but at the same time, we're getting substituted with like a lot of good content. And even if Blaze Blue Cross Tag isn't released yet, like we already know how it's gonna play. So 3 anime fighters, it's pretty big, especially at EVO.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on the quality of ArcSys games. It seems like Capcom really is falling off as the front runner. I mean, maybe not. Street Fighter has been picking up some more steam lately, but the launch of Street Fighter V is terrible. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite basically dead on arrival. So I don't know. I'd really like to see Capcom pick up the pace again. I love their games. I love their fighting games. They were the pioneers when the genre was invented. So seeing, I'd say of the FGC games, that one's definitely my personal favorite, and the only one that I really made a real venture in as a tournament competitor. So I'll be pouring one out on Sunday, August 5th, but I'm definitely excited for the games that are going to be there. I have to agree, Dragon Ball, it's getting more appealing every day. I actually just bought a copy of it. I feel like I'm going to end up falling in love with that game like I did Marvel 3. So
for sure.
More power to everyone. I love how the game has the casual appeal that I feel like Smash does too. And that means like both of those games could be real contenders for like the forefront of esports in the near future. I think, once Nintendo kind of gets their thing together too with Smash as for a prominent competitive title, it's got exactly the same things going for it as Dragon Ball Z. It's accessible, it's watchable, recognizable characters, it's pretty to look at, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah.
So any other thoughts on EVO from you guys before we just move it right along?
I think it's really nice that Melee's on Sunday. We didn't
Yes.
do anything to really pay it forward last year when it was Smash 4 because no one shut up like live, and that was pretty disappointing. It was at a time slot that I think was still fair, but I mean the in-audience experience seemed really lacking. So I'm glad it's Melee this time.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the crowd too for Smash 4. I was cheering my butt off for whatever I was looking at, and I don't know, just like obviously I was on the hot seat for Melee in 2016, and obviously I saw it firsthand. And it was just, I don't know, there was this buzz, there was this energy in the venue, there was like roars and stuff, and like it was hyper than that cat is right now. That's what I would say. So
I didn't even try to get him here. He just joined me.
Yeah, I'm just happy we get to do it again. And even if we get the 10 a.m. slot, honestly, playing Melee for like 13 hours, what felt like 13 hours on that Saturday was one of the most grueling experiences I've ever had to go through. Not to mention those like 2 hours breaks in between every set of brackets. It was just awful.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like that finals last year with Salem and Zero was at a point where like Bayonetta was stifling a lot of the viewership. Like,
oh yeah,
whether people admit it or not, it was the beginning of what we're currently experiencing with like a lot of just misgivings with it, whether or not she's fair, whether or not this or that. Like people have an issue with it, and that was the top 8 that we had, and we had a lot of Bayonettas like in 9th and 13th. So I think like a quarter of top 16 was Bayonettas, if not more.
You think is ever going to get banned, Swore? It's an honest question, like a yes or no. You think is there ever a chance like that she'll hurt the viewership? As a Puff player, I worry about that too. Luckily, there's not like a barrage of Puffs making us suffer.
It's not a critical mass, so
okay.
not for a ban. A Cloud double ban, sure, but doubles is such a low priority in general.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. But she's nowhere near banning. There's no videos that say why you need to ban Bayonetta coming out like every day. Like it's nowhere near that. But that was last year, so I think a lot of Smash 4 kids took it for granted, and I think with what we just saw at Genesis too, like that was so crazy, and I'm so glad it's on Sunday for this year.
Word. Yep.
Yeah. Definitely cool that it's Melee this year. Hopefully, pending the release of any other. That means that Smash
also,
4 2019 could happen.
Really quick, Max. Yeah. This means that like games that are on Saturday can come back, so that's pretty cool to see. Because we thought that with Melee going to Saturday, like
Oh yeah, it's true.
Melee's dying, blah blah blah. No, like games can come back, and that's pretty cool for because Smash can come back next year, like as Smash 5, Smash Deluxe, whatever, or games that are on Saturday this year again, they can come back. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. I was just saying, yeah, I pretty much would like to see them take turns, Melee, and then whatever the new Smash game that's the most popular is. Also, there's all this talk about what the future of the Smash series is coming out. I've heard some people venture as far as to say like we're going to get straight up Smash 5 for the Switch rather than some kind of deluxe version. Definitely makes me wonder if that were to happen, would Smash 4 continue to be played?
Nope.
It depends on how similar the engines are, but
yeah, that's true. It does depend on that, but I'll almost guarantee it. If they're doing Smash 5, they're sticking to a winning formula. They're putting it
right.
Maybe a few tweaks, new graphics updates, and all that. Every Smash 4 kid's gonna go and play it, and then Melee will continue as is because of knowing Nintendo. It's just very, very just clear cut line between the two. My prediction is just a Smash 4 port, to be honest.
Same. Yep.
As time goes on, it seems less likely that there will be like a Smash port, but we're in that point now where I think it's much more likely to be a port than it is to be a completely new one. It's only been 3 years, but from like a logistical perspective, like tournament organizers will have to have the new one, and they're gonna put it on, and people are gonna play it, so it's not even like a question at that point.
Yeah, I have to agree. Whether it's Smash 4 Deluxe, Smash 5, like it's probably gonna take Smash 4's place. And yeah, I would like to see, on the odd numbered years we get the new Smash. On the even numbered years we get Melee. It's a nice like way to please everyone, and like then there's no more like sibling rivalry, or at least hopefully not.
On the one condition that Melee or even the new Smash game doesn't have more entrants than Street Fighter. That should be the trump. If they
then we
trump Street Fighter. Yeah. That's a fair compromise.
All right, so since we're nearing the end of our time, just Hbox wanted to quickly catch up with you on some of the stuff that we didn't get to talk about last week.
Sure.
So we had Genesis and EVO Japan most notably. So Genesis being like the first tournament back after the in between season break, winter break for any college students, and we saw Plup, but like the way he beat Armada was pretty savage, and like we even on the show, we had to talk about it on the episode after Big House, how it was like, wow, finally Plup has defeated this demon player. He finally got that one set. Like, what are the implications of that for the future of his career? And then here he is taking out Armada, and then he also beat you twice as well. So like Plup looked unreal at Genesis. Obviously, like he's got kind of the advantage of being able to play you locally over a lot of top players. So like I feel like the sets would go more back and forth, or like he might have some kind of advantage in the head-to-head that other players wouldn't on you. Not that like he's favored to win it every time or whatever, but just that he does have that local ability to practice. So do you think that comes into play? Like when you fight him head-to-head, do you feel like he knows you very well or better than someone like Armada, for example?
I just really think that we actually haven't played locally in a while. He doesn't go to the locals much anymore, and there's not too many regionals happening in Florida apart from the ones that are announced like once or twice a year. So basically, he was just using the exact same strategy that he had. His Fox on a good day can destroy me, but my Puff on a good day against his Fox, like I 3-0'd him at Too Hot to Handle, and then I 6-1'd him in the Big House 7, and then DreamHack Atlanta. He destroyed me, and then we actually went 6-6 in games in Genesis. Fun fact. There was, but obviously it's near or close to the best he's ever played in his life. I think he just had more outreads than I did, and by 3-0ing Armada, by beating me in 2 sets, by
Zelda Fair,
just the balls on this man to do that. That's the only option that would have worked. And you know what Armada does when he clips out at game 3, he clips out game 4 and 5 also. That's always what happens. So that could have easily been game 5, and that's how important that forward air was. It was true, just the knowledge you have to do that. It's just out of this freaking world. And he just played great. He beat Mango too. So all his demons, he beat them all in a row. He pulled the Leffen Gommel, and he officially. I think to truly be a God Slayer, you have to beat all the 5 gods and then win the tournament. You know what I mean? Do what Leffen did at Gummel. And now Plup is the official sixth member of this current pantheon. There is now a big six. Would have been 7 PPMD left, a while ago. But now these big six is basically the 6 players that, on paper, at any given point in a good day, can honestly beat each other. And it's always better for viewership when the pantheon gets bigger, I think. And now the big question is, will there be a 7th? Will it be one of these new up-and-comers like Wizzy, or, Crush, Zane, Wizzy, trying to break into this? And then the storylines of a guy like Stango, man, is not even ranked top 100, and his ELO is pointing to him just being way higher than he should be. So there's lots of hidden bosses and sharks, and I really, really hope 2018 and all the events that it has to offer gives a chance for these players to showcase themselves and keep up with the new elite, because I did call it. I did call it back in 2012 that Plup was going to be a top player in the world, and here we are. So it's just, you can do it. It just takes work.
What do you feel about like his future trajectory? I mean, he was ranked just now 5th, right? So where do you see him ending up on like the first 6 months of 2018 ranking? And also, like, I mean, you just got crowned as the new first for the first time in a while, right? So like, how do you feel about your position at the top with the rise of a player like this? And I mean, yeah, like what's going on with that?
It took me, in a sense, 11 years to be officially considered number 1, which is longer than it took me to do anything in my life. It's extremely, extremely difficult. And everyone knows that there's just levels to it. There's I can be my friends. I can beat most people in my tournaments. I can win my locals. I can place at regionals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And when you get to the point where it's like, I can beat Armada, or I can beat Hbox or Mango, that's when you're truly achieving greatness. You know what I mean? That's when it's like, when you can beat the best of the best, how do you know that you're not the best in the first place? And we all have to go through that path and that journey just to prove ourselves. And honestly, the only other time I was ranked first was right after I won EVO, and then I completely faltered under the pressure. I completely kind of blew it at Big House, and then lost to Armada like 7 times in a row, something like that. And I did not earn the rank, but this was when I wanted. If I was going to have rank 1, I wanted to be unanimous. I didn't want it to be by some mathematical technicality. I wanted it to be like as clear cut, no argument. It is right there, and that was it. And as of right now, I have a winning record over everyone except Plup for this year, and Plup right now has won the only super major. But we're going to meet up a lot more times this year, and my prediction is that by the midpoint of 2016, right before EVO, I think that my prediction is going to be myself, Armada, Plup, Leffen, in that order for top 4. Yeah. And I think Mango and Mewtwo King, it's really, really hard to tell because it's just.
Well, we got Super Bowl powered Mango now.
Yeah, we do. That's true.
2018 will be his year,
Could be
right?
the year of the GOAT.
Yeah, we'll see. Cloud9 has been doing some miracles, so you never know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's the year of the dog in the Chinese calendar. So
the year of the dog.
Yeah. Underdog.
And then in Smash 4. In Smash 4, we got kind of like a different scenario. Rather than a new number 1 being crowned, it's the current number 1 and consistent number 1 leaving. So, I mean, there's no better person to ask for like the champion's perspective other than you, Hbox. So, like, do you feel like, after a certain period of consistently being ranked first in the world, that like, how long would it take for you to be able to like walk away and be okay with it? Like Zero definitely cited lack of motivation. And like just kind of losing the spark is his major reason for not doing it. So what would it take for you to get to that point?
Being ranked 1 isn't too different from being ranked 2, 3, or 4. You just get a lot more people letting you know how much they hate you on a daily basis. That's basically about it. You just get a lot of people letting you know how much of a big douchebag you are. So if you're cool with that, then you should be okay. I'm sure only Zero knows exactly what Zero had to go through as top player. All those stupid stuff he might have heard from just envious people. And it just, you have to deal with it. Like, can you imagine what like a guy like LeBron James or Tom Brady gets? The amount of unwarranted, just pure hate, like people wishing they were dead, like death threats. It's so immature and inane. And I don't know if that was the reason that he stepped back, but if you're asking me how long would it take for me to be satisfied, I'm going down with the ship, Max. Melee is the only thing I know how to do on this earth. So I'm pushing it for as long as it lasts. And if I'm the reason it dies, then I'll gladly be that reason. Like, I'm just going down with it. I don't care. Like Melee, I will exist as long as Melee does. That's all there is to it.
That's really good to hear. And I mean, I'd love to see Zero come back. I know he said like if another Smash game got announced or a couple other conditions were fulfilled, he would make his re-entrance. So it might be sooner than we think. Who knows? But either way, guys, we're going to start wrapping things up. Just in terms of the CSL side, we had our first regional for the winter season last weekend. It was at Drexel University in Philly. So for Melee, we saw VTech, helped by their anchor Zane, one of the best players in the world. They took first seed. William and Mary also. And then on the Smash 4 side of things, DeBuzz took Stony Brook to victory. And then in second place was UMD. They've always been a pretty strong team. They've got like a really scary roster this time around. So look out for those guys at Eastern Divisionals in the spring. And then coming up this weekend, we have California on Saturday and New England on Sunday. At New England, you'll be seeing Crush, another player that came up in this call and just someone that we see a lot of in terms of CSL coverage because he's one of the best players in the world that also happens to be a college student and involved in the program. So he'll be playing for Northeastern.
Wow.
Probably going to lead them to a first place finish. I would be very surprised if they didn't win. And then over in California, we got some big threats like NC Jacob T. Really good players overall that you don't necessarily see too much of just because of the concentration of actual top talent in SoCal. Like, you know, you'll see Boyd and Larry everywhere. But it's going to give some shine to some of those like lower end of the PR, but still PR worthy players over there. Definitely looking forward to it. And Shaky, of course, fifth in NorCal. He's a beast. Look out for that. It's going to be on CSL's Twitch. And of course, guys, if you like what you see, definitely drop the subscription on YouTube. We do the show every week. It's me, Hbox, Toronto Joe, and we used to have Teresa from CSL, but now we're experimenting with some guests. So Swar and Ori, you guys definitely, drop your Twitters and stuff. Let these guys know where they can find you.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can find me at PG_Swar on Twitter. Pretty active there. PGR season is just underway, so looking to end in June here. What about you, Ori?
You can follow me on Twitter at CoolOribro with a K. I just tweet a lot about Smash. You'll be seeing a lot of Frostbite stuff over the course of this weekend. So if you want to stay more up to date with that, drop a follow.
And I'll also be trying to do some hopefully IRL streams at Frostbite to show a lot of the off-stream action, give people a flavor of what potentially could be one of the hypest events of the year in any Smash game. I'm really excited for it.
Awesome.
Hell yeah, man. I did that at EVO this year. It was actually awesome. Just catching a lot of the off-stream goodness. So yeah, guys, again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Smash Course. Take care.
Later, guys.
So yeah.